Hello and welcome to episode 77 of IOnTheTigers, a podcast all about the National Ice Hockey League, but one that always has an eye on the Telford Tigers. News, plenty, so we'll jump straight into it this week. The big news story, it's going to be involving Hull, I would say. 6-5 win at the Phantoms, overtime I believe it was. No, it's become a 5-0 victory for the Phantoms. It turns out that Hull had amassed 50 penalty points and Matty Davis was on the bench when he should not have been. So, yeah, Hull forfeit a game. Been lots flying around about that. Is it the league's responsibility? Is it the team's responsibility? I mean, you could probably make a case either way. Personally, I feel that Hull should have been aware and should have known where they were on that. Flip side, do you know what? I'm not saying, referees buy this or anything, but, if officials were aware, they could make them aware. Yeah, tough one to take for Hull. I mean, I think the one thing that possibly we can all be thankful for is that it's not going to sort of make a big difference in the sense of it's not potentially going to cost them a playoff place, or it's not going to prevent them from perhaps going on to win the title or something like that. But it's probably not a great look all round, I think, for the league. Some more positive news is signing news. So there's been a couple of contract extensions announced this week. Nathan Salem is rejoining or re-signing with the Peterborough Phantoms. And the Swindon Wildcats, they have announced Rennie Marr re-signs. So good signings there for both teams. If I think for a Telford perspective, well, Marr, I don't think we're ever going to get because he wouldn't be coming to Telford to be understudy to Brad. And in terms of Nathan Salem, he's a player I'd like to see back at the Tigers. Strong work rate, makes stuff happen. Not afraid to throw a hit and stuff like that. But no, he's stayed with Peterborough for next season. Let's get on to the results section. And let's kick off with some fantastic news from a Telford perspective. They were taking on the Sutton Sting over the weekend. Tigers 2 were in the Cup final. And the Silverware in Telford. A 5-4 win at home. Followed up with a 3-2 win away from home. And the Cup is with Telford. They win the Cup again. Great results, or great couple of results there for the team. Fantastic to have the North 2 Cup returning to Telford. With any luck, that's not going to be the only piece of silverware this season, though. Still very much in the hunt, in the race for the league title. And hopefully can then cap it off with a hat-trick and get the playoff crown as well. So, huge congratulations to all there at Tigers 2. Well deserved. A couple of great results there against Sutton Sting. National League. Plenty of games to run through. The action started on Tuesday night last week with Sheffield Steel Dogs hosting the Leeds Knights. I'd forecast a bit of a cup hangover for Leeds. No. Here's the quick summary. It was a 6-0 win for Leeds. Steel Dogs shut out on home ice there. Wednesday night, Telford took the trip to Peterborough. Wasn't worth it, to be honest. Phantoms 12, Tigers 3. Just never, ever, ever looked like getting anything out of that game. Giving up, some pretty poor goals. It was, just a night to forget. And that's being polite about it. Friday night, Leeds and Sheffield went at it again. Difference being this time it was at Leeds. Saw the same number of goals and it was closer, but the results stayed the same in terms of Leeds picking up 2 points, Knights for Steel Dogs 2. On Saturday, an absolutely massive game as Telford travel up to Solway. 3 points gap between the two teams in favour of the Telford Tigers as well. Solway do have a game in hand, though. Quite simply for the Tigers, it's a must-win game. Sadly, it was not to be. Sharks 7, Tigers 4. It's kind of a game where Tigers kind of did enough to stay in it, but never looked like getting anything from it. I don't know if that makes too much sense, but certainly that was sort of my feeling watching it. We were able to hang into the game. And we never let Solway get away, and they scored the 7th as an empty net goal sort of towards the end. But yeah, never thought we were going to get anything from that. So yeah, disappointing there. Cuts the gap to 1 point. Elsewhere around the league, Bristol was hosting Pitbulls against the Lightning. This was pretty comprehensive and one-sided. Pitbulls 0, Lightning 11. So the Lightning running up plenty of goals there as Pitbulls get shut out at home and concede plenty as well, it must be said. Another shutout in Swindon, this time for the away team though. Wildcats 7, Raiders 0, so pretty comprehensive win there on home ice for the Wildcats. And then final 2 games on Saturday. Bees hosted the Seahawks, a 4-1 win for Hull. Phantoms hosted the Knights. That was also a 4-1 win for the away team as the Knights won that one. On to Sunday. Tigers hosted the Wildcats. I could only see this going one way, and I was wrong. Tigers 3, Wildcats 2. Bonus points as far as I'm concerned. I didn't expect us to get anything out of that one. No, great result. Absolutely fantastic result. Yeah, it took a 3-0 lead. Wildcats got a couple of late goals, but Tigers were able to hold on. It's a massive win after what must be said was pretty disappointing results both midweek and on the Saturday night, which shipped plenty of goals. We've only got 3 fit recognised D-men, and yet somehow we keep Swindon to just 2 goals. Doesn't make sense. I'm not complaining, but yeah, massive win. However, the win was really going to have its value if Solway dropped points at Sheffield, which is exactly what they did. Steel Dogs 4, Sharks 2. So it's as you were coming into the weekend. Tigers with a 3-point gap over Solway, but Solway having a game in hand. Raiders hosted the Phantoms in what can only be described as a goal fest. It finally finished Raiders 9, Phantoms 6. Another team scoring 9 was the Lightning, so they were down a couple of goals from the previous night against Bristol, playing Bristol again. Bristol did get on the scoreboard this time though with a couple of goals, so still 11 goals, but still heavily favouring the Lightning, 9-2. And last but not least, Seahawks hosted the Bees, and that one finished Seahawks 6, Bees 2. This upcoming week actually gets underway on the Friday night as the Leeds Knights host the Raiders. Knights to win that one. Saturday, Tigers host the Steel Dogs. Unusual to be at home on a Saturday night. Home form has been pretty good recently. Yeah, I'll go for a Tigers win. That'd be very good. Sharks host the Raiders. Sharks are at home twice on the weekend, both times against the Raiders. I fancy them each to win a game over the course of the weekend. So, yeah, just for the sake of it, I'll say Sharks win on the Saturday night. What else we got? Pitbulls host the Bees. Bottom 2 clubs clash. Pitbulls are supposed to have some players returning, so I fancy them just to edge that one out. Wildcats host the Phantoms. Fancy the Wildcats to bounce back and record a win there. And Lightning host the Seahawks. I fancy the Lightning to win on home ice. Sunday, Seahawks host the Tigers. Generally, we've done okay against Hull, but I fancy Hull to win that one. So Hull winning there against the Tigers. Sharks host the Raiders. So yeah, Raiders to win this one. Knights host the Pitbulls. Knights will win that one. Bees host the Wildcats. Everything says the Wildcats should win that one, but I don't know. The Bees have been springing the odd surprise result. But no, I'm going to stick with the Wildcats win. Phantoms host the Lightning. I fancy the Phantoms to pull off an upset there. Sorry, Phantoms fans, you probably wouldn't see it as an upset, but no, I fancy the Phantoms to win that one. So, summary from the weekend would be, in terms of my predictions, Tigers and Solway. It remains a 3-point gap, with Solway having the game in hand, but of course, the Leafs played a couple of games more. As always, let me know what you think of my predictions, or indeed, if you want to come on, be a guest of the show, talk about your team and the season, just drop me a message and let me know. But in terms of the episode for this week, that's it. I'll be back this time next week. Bye for now.